This little boat is called a Sportyak. It's all fiberglass. It's got a little bit of wood on it for the oarlocks. And it was first used by river historian Otis Marston in 1963. The first river trip to go through Grand Canyon after the completion of Glen Canyon Dam. Actually, the dam wasn't completed, but it had taken over the control of the river and was only releasing 1,400 to 2,500 cubic feet a second. Not much water. The concept of this trip actually came from Otis Marston's friend, Buzz Belknap. Buzz was in his teens and he wanted to swim the river. The water was clear and warm and only running 1,000 or 2,000 cubic feet a second below the dam. And so he told his dad, Bill Belknap, said, "Hey, why don't we take these little Sportyaks through Grand Canyon?" Once he realized that they couldn't swim the river without having some sort of support. Doc got involved because Doc Marston knew the Belknaps. And they put together a little river trip with a bunch of friends from Lake Mead. And off they went in these tiny little boats. Unfortunately, they didn't launch until after the monsoon season started, which means that the water was nice and clear at Lee's Ferry where they launched, but within 100 yards, where the Paria River joined, the river turned to liquid mud. And from there on, they were mud puppies, all the way through the canyon. Because the water was so low, they ended up way behind schedule. And 3 of the people hiked out at Phantom Ranch. But 4 of them kept going in these tiny little boats. This is the only time that Otis Marston's actually flipped a boat, and he flipped this boat in a little rapid. These are little pool toys. You know what they say, there are those who have and those who will. The next year, 1964, Marston, again with Bill Belknap and his son Buzz, and Jorgen Visbach, the 4 of them took these little Sportyaks through Cataract Canyon. In April of '64, it was very cold. The purpose of that trip was to find a Dennis Julian inscription from 1836. Before the waters being impounded behind Glen Canyon Dam drowned that inscription for many years to come. And they found it. So in a way, this boat is a regression back to the days of John Wesley Powell. Well, how can I say that? We're less than 4 feet width now, aren't we? So we're not this bad, standing 1 foot in front of the other. We're back to this. Well, there's a reason why this boat is so small. It's because there was very little water in the river. But this is a tiny, tiny little boat. It's almost the span of my hands. Not quite, but almost. It's really cute, and it's really, really small. So in this cute little boat are these cute little oars. Look at the lever arm distance you have here from the oarlock to the handle. What do you got? 14 inches maybe? 15, 16? Not far. Talk about first gear. This is a little floating toy. I mean, it's just really, really tiny. Because the water was so low, the river was full of rocks. On this trip, the reason why they got so delayed was because they spent a lot of time walking these boats around the rapids or lining them along the shore. Now the lining they got really good at. They had a rope in the back and they had a rope in the front, and they basically flew the boat like a kite away from the rocks and out in the water and down the river. And that took them a lot of time. It is a cute little boat, and it'd be a lot of fun in Grand Canyon today. I don't know. They're such cute little boats. So they'd have a backpack up here, and they'd sit back here and they'd row. And there it is, says dock back here. And they put these little oarlocks on it, built up with pieces of wood. And on Doc's boat, there was a skunk. And there's a long story about Doc and seekers of truth being stinkers. And that's a great way to understand Doc and the skunk emblem, which he used on his letterhead. And he had flags made up, and the house was full of pet skunks that people had sent him. The skunks don't want legend. The skunks don't want history. The stinkers want the facts.